Sustainability video number 2 for challenge-based learning. Update since the last video. The main change is we now have a plan. This plan for promoting lower emissions from transport from students and staff, and for them to use alternative modes of transport such as active travel, public transport, is a poster-based scheme. So we hope to use posters, put them around the campus so we can demonstrate to students and staff just how many tons of emissions would be produced by your average commute in a private car. So the metric we used was balloons. So the amount of balloons we had in the picture was roughly equivalent to how many balloons it would take in terms of CO2 produced. So in terms of management, the 3 main stages of management since then were trying to allocate roles for the project. So in this case, for the final poster for the National Transport Authority Showcase, and also a presentation which we submitted to our lecturer and the National Transport Authority. We were each allocated different roles, and then we went our own ways, and each worked on our individual pieces before coming back together and putting them all into one document, or one poster in the former case. So now we will be able to submit a poster for the showcase in personal agility. The main things for my personal agility aspect of this was what to research. So I had to work out how to present the information in a way that was palatable, but also talk about what we were going to focus on. It also involved taking feedback from my group members. So for the poster, they wanted me to be a bit more specific. So I started by providing a general introduction to transport. What they wanted was a bit more of a description of why we're doing our project. So I ended up editing the document to fit that criteria. Sustainability literacy. By this, it was mostly using old data I previously used, or more accurately a source. So I used census data in order to get the information I needed for the poster, such as how many people commute, as well as other information from the Central Statistics Office, such as sector emissions, which turns out transport is the second biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in our country. So this also made me want to do it more, in trying to at least reduce it somewhat. In terms of teamwork and collaboration, the teamwork was, as said earlier, trying to divide the project and what to work on. There was also a stage where one of our members designed 2 posters and asked us which one she thinks we should use. There was one which just showed the truck, but also mostly covered by smoke in the background, with the smoke having the metric of how much CO2 would be produced by your average commute. Meanwhile, the other one was the aforementioned balloon poster, which also included a bit of slang which I was personally unfamiliar with, but everyone else seemed to understand, so I was perfectly okay with them including it. But that poster was also a lot more visually striking because it provided a visual metric for how much greenhouse gases would be produced. Futures literacy. In terms of this stage has been a lot more clear because we actually know what we're going to be working on, which makes a big difference for trying to plan out and operate on this project. As for the critical thinking between the previous stage and this stage mostly involved trying to work out what we're meant to do. So there was a bit of confusion initially because of the feedback we got from our lecturer, because we had an idea. Our lecturer told us to go back and keep that idea in the back of our head mostly. So when we were trying to think about our ideas, we couldn't quite put in any idea which we believed would have the same results or any approach that would work with the time constraints we have, because in the upcoming weeks there were multiple assignments at the end of the semester. So we wanted to do something that was, first of all, more than possible with the time we were provided, but also that would give a good message across to students. And in the end, we chose the poster, which I keep coming back to.